was too scared to stay there. Sometimes I can't sleep because of what I've seen. The moon hung low in the night sky, casting a pale, eerie glow over the rugged Welsh mountains. I'd always been drawn to the mystical beauty of the landscape, so I decided to embark on a solo hiking expedition deep into the heart of the Brecon Beacons, a place known for its haunting allure. The journey began with excitement and anticipation, but little did I know that I would soon question the very nature of reality itself. I set out from a small, picturesque village at the foot of the mountains, the only soul in sight. The dense fog curled around the trees, like ghostly fingers as I ascended into the unknown. The world around me became cloaked in an impenetrable mist, obscuring any trace of the path that had led me here. Still, I pushed forward, determined to embrace the eerie solitude. As I trudged deeper into the wilderness, the fog seemed to thicken, and the air grew bitterly cold. It was as if the mountains themselves were closing in on me, whispering their ancient secrets. Each step became heavier, each breath more labored. I wondered if I had ventured too far into this desolate wilderness. Suddenly I heard the faintest of whispers and carried on the chilling breeze. It was as if the very air was conspiring to tell me something, to communicate some hidden truth. My heart raced as I strained to listen, but the words were unintelligible, like a ghostly murmur in an unknown tongue. The fog danced and swirled, taking on strange and unnatural shapes. Shadows moved at the periphery of my vision. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. My pulse quickened, and a knot of unease settled in the pit of my stomach. I couldn't help but wonder if I was truly alone in these forsaken mountains. As I pressed on, the feeling of being watched only intensified. I stumbled upon a small, dilapidated shack, barely visible through the haze. Its windows were shattered, and its wooden frame seemed on the verge of collapse. I approached cautiously, my footsteps echoing in the eerie silence. The door creaked open, revealing a scene that froze my blood. Inside, the shack was littered with desiccated corpses, their eyes staring into the void with vacant, hollow expressions. The air reeked of decay, and I stumbled backward, retching. It was as if the very walls of the shack had absorbed the suffering and anguish of those who had met their gruesome end here. I was trapped in a nightmare. There was no waking from it. Suddenly, my attention was drawn to a flickering light beyond the shack. I cautiously made my way towards it. I could hardly believe my eyes when I saw a circle of figures, cloaked in dark robes, gathered around a roaring fire. Their heads were adorned with grotesque goat masks, their eyes hidden behind empty sockets. In the center of the circle, an eerie incantation filled the air, and the figures chanted in a language I couldn't comprehend. My heart pounded in my chest as I realized they were burning something on the fire, something that seemed all too familiar. It looked like the very bodies I had seen in the woods. Terror gripped me, and I stumbled backward, the thud of my footsteps betraying my presence. The cultists turned their masked faces toward me, and their eerie chant morphed into a cacophony of guttural growls. Without hesitation, I turned and ran, adrenaline pumping through my veins. But in my haste to escape, I lost my footing and tumbled down a rocky slope. Pain shot through my body as I collided with jagged stones, and I felt my back scrape against the unforgiving terrain. The cult's chilling chant echoed in my ears, growing fainter as I distanced myself from their malevolent gathering. I staggered to my feet, the pain in my back nearly unbearable, but I couldn't stop. The adrenaline fueled my desperate escape, and I continued to run until I finally emerged from the fog-shrouded mountains. As I hobbled back to the village, the question that haunted me was no longer whether it had all been a hallucination. I had seen the cult, their macabre ritual, and the burning of those bodies. The memory of that fateful night will forever be etched in my mind, a chilling reminder of the horrors that lurk in the shadows, waiting to be unveiled. The scratches on my back served as a painful reminder that the horrors I had witnessed were all too real. With each step, I couldn't help but wonder if the darkness that lurked in the heart of the Welsh mountains was far more sinister than I had ever imagined. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for me and like this video. Keep it creepy, and see you next time.